Hello, I'm Peter, and today I'm going to talk to you about keeping cyclamen. Well, Halloween's gone, bonfire night's passed, and the shops, and we're getting ready for the run down to Christmas, so cyclamen are beginning to appear. They've been around for a few weeks actually, but I particularly love this time of year because I really do love cyclamen. It reminds me of my mum, and she just adored cyclamen, so it's always a good time of year from my point of view. But she used to complain that she really struggled to keep cyclamen, and the basis of that was, she said, well, the trouble is they've got a corm which is in here, which is where all the leaves and the flowers actually stem from, sort of brown and round, about that sort of size, and she said it mustn't get wet, and in there is the problem, is that what then tends to happen is that people put them in a saucer of water, allowing the water to be absorbed into the plant coming up, and that actually can lead to overwatering. It then means that the corm does get wet and it starts to get soaked, and it's sodden, and it doesn't like that at all. So my dad and I had a shop many decades ago, and we used to sell some cyclamen, and I was very grateful to the growers that showed me actually how to look after these, because they said actually they're really easy to keep. What you need to do is to water them from the top. Now, okay, that means the corm is going to get wet, but if you wait until the right time, and I'll come back and show you this in a few days' time, if you wait until the leaves start to droop over and the flowers start to droop over, you might think you've left it too long, but actually you haven't, because what you can then do is to water into the pot, the top of the pot, and okay, the corm's going to get wet, but it will drain into the soil just inside the lip of the pot, which is only going to give it maybe half an inch of water, but that will immediately drain into the soil because the soil is dry there, and therefore, although the corm does get wet, it doesn't get soaked, it doesn't get sodden, and therefore it will be quite happy. So I'm going to put this one on one side, and I'll come back in a few days' time when we've got to a state where it needs to be watered, and I'll show you how to do that. In the meantime, I've got another one here which definitely doesn't need watering at the moment. The leaves are nicely firm, the flowers are standing proud, and just to give you an idea, when they're fully hydrated, they're quite robust. You can turn them, put your hands in over the top of the leaves, and you can turn it upside down, and it will quite happily sit on top of your hand. You can see this one, it's not moved at all. It's really strong, it's nicely hydrated. I can actually see that the soil, it's actually probably compost, is slightly damp. So this one doesn't need watering for a while, and we'll just put that on one side and leave it to it for the moment. Beautiful flowers, absolutely fabulous. The range of flowers that you get in cyclamen nowadays, it is really, really fantastic. So the growers said cyclamen are really easy to keep. There's no reason why you shouldn't keep them all the way through the Christmas season and into the new year. It's just a case of watering them at the right time and by the right amount, and don't let it sit with its feet in the water. So I'll see you again in a short time. We'll come back, see how we're getting on with this cyclamen, and I'll show you how to finish off and water it. It's now about 2 weeks, and you can see that the plant really needs a drink now. The stems have fallen over, it's gone limp. So we're going to water it from the top. Well, we want to make sure that the corm and the little buds at the bottom don't get damp. It doesn't matter if they get wet just to start off with, but they don't want to be sitting in water and getting wet. So you need to make sure that the plant gets plenty of water, but don't overwater it. You don't have to leave it this long. You can actually water it more often, but just make sure you don't let that corm and those little buds actually sit in water and get damp. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thanks very much. Bye bye.